August 6th, 2025 is the date. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Figure Four Podcast. My name is Doug. This episode, Donnie and I are going to break down the 2025 SummerSlam. A few things happened, a few really big things happened during this year's SummerSlam. A lot of great matches, and we hope you guys are going to enjoy. Let's get to it. Night one. The first match was Roman Reigns, Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. There was nothing to this match. Nothing. The best part of this match was when Roman actually bounced off the ropes, went up into the air, and cleared everybody onto the floor. I honestly don't have anything to talk about. This match just sucked. There was no chemistry. It was off. And every match I'm going to rank out of 5, I gave this match 1 fucking star. It was a horrible, it was a horrible match. Like I said, Roman going through the air over the top rope and clearing everybody was the highlight of the match. I hated it. And that's all I have to say about the opening match.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, first of all, by the time that Jay got down to the ring, coming through that crowd, and after yeeting all over everybody, he was blown up.
Oh yeah, he was gassed then.
He was gassed before the match even started. So I thought that was kind of comical. Looking at the fact that Roman used to be a main eventer, and now he's on the opening card, I'm like,
well, judging by the quality of the match, I can see why that match was on the opening card. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Going into the PLE, I thought, okay, this might be like a mid-card match. They might put something else. I don't know what you would have replaced it with, but like going into SummerSlam, I was like, okay, so like you've got Roman, you've got Jay against the Wise Man, and his new group. I'm like, this could have some potential, but I mean, dear God, I think at one point Roman had more super punches than Jay had super kicks.
Yeah,
from a wrestling standpoint, it wasn't a wrestling match.
No, it was what it was. It was an opening match. That's exactly what it was. And I hope people took their time at the concession stands checking out the cool merch and not rush to their seat to see this match. On paper, should have been great.
It should have been.
But
I mean, I don't want to say that it was a popcorn match. Like normally you'd see a popcorn match, like maybe 2 matches in, maybe 3 matches in. To me, for the fact that this was the opening match, it was a popcorn match at the end of the day.
Okay, the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This was a much better fucking match than the Roman Jay match.
Yeah.
much better. It had a good pace. I loved one of my favorite sells of the whole match. There was one point Charlotte turned around or someone got out of the way and Alexa Bliss clocked Charlotte in the mouth. And Charlotte just kind of stood there for a minute and went back. I laughed because it was a wicked sell job. It was like, holy fuck, that stunned the shit out of me. I'm going to die now. I absolutely, I loved it. The match, like I said, it was better. It was a better match. It's going to take Charlotte and Alexa some time to gel as a team because they're still pretty new. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez are off as well. Everything was just kind of thrown together, so I'm not going to be horribly hard on them. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now whenever, and I don't know what the timeline is for Liv to come back, but she doesn't have a belt anymore.
No.
And it was Roxanne Perez that took the pinfall. So she's going to blame Roxanne Perez.
I was just thinking that. Holy crap! Because Bliss put the Sister Abigail on her.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Like I said, it wasn't a sleeper match by any means, but it was better than the Roman match. I gave it 2 stars. Actually, I gave it 2.25.
Okay.
I found it way fucking better, way more entertaining than the Roman Reigns opening match.
I'm looking at Alexa and Charlotte, and I like the whole we're not friends, but they
Mhm.
kind of pick at each other. They're like two sisters kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of digging that. Um, Two totally different styles.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, the more that they work at it, I think they're going to be a good tag team.
They'll
I
have the
think
belts
they're
for a little while. At the very least, they're going to have the belts until Liv Morgan comes back.
yeah.
But you know what? It seems like Raquel Rodriguez is kind of warmed up to Perez. So if Liv comes back and gives Roxanne attitude, I could see Raquel be like, "Hey, back off, blonde bitch." You know,
Yeah.
like,
So okay,
and the
we'll kind
two
of
of
go
them
off.
are Spanish at the same time, right? So, I mean,
This is true.
right? So,
We're, I want to go off on a little side mission here, real quick, before we get on to the next match. Um, my thoughts on the match itself. Again, with the same with you, I thought it was a definite upgrade from the opening tag. Um, some oh shit moments during it, like you said, when I think Raquel ducked out of the way, and that's when Alexa decked Charlotte. To me, that was Charlotte's version of the Flair flop.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, we'll get along a lot better if you stop punching me in the mouth.
um, what does this spell for the Judgment Day when Liv does come back?
I don't know. I honestly thought the Judgment Day would have been disbanded a year ago.
We've talked
So
about that.
I yeah, well, I think over the last 2 years.
Yeah,
So a year and a half for sure. So I don't know. It seems like there's still value there as far as the Judgment Day goes, but I don't know. I don't know. It's I think
I
Liv gets kicked out. I think Liv honestly gets kicked out of the Judgment Day.
I'm gonna say this, and we've always talked. We don't read the dirt sheets. We don't look into the background stuff. I think the Judgment Day is going to implode, and it's going to revolve around Finn Balor. Finn is going to be the reason that the Judgment Day implodes.
Finn
The current
almost
Judgment
seems like
Day.
he wants like he's got his guys. Like he's got JD and he likes Raquel. He hates Dom. I don't think he minds Roxanne and he can't stand Liv. So it's like he's like a puppet master at this point. And you can
Oh,
see it.
big
Like
time.
he'll say something, then he's got this big shit ass grin on his face, like
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know. I don't know where they go. But nothing major is gonna happen until Liv comes back. Now I don't know how long it's gonna take her to repair a separated shoulder like that. I guess it was a pretty intense injury, but
It was a pretty bad tear.
so we'll see. We'll see what happens. The next match, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. I was so stoked for this match, and it was the weirdest fucking match I think I've seen in a long time. Again, there was no chemistry to it whatsoever. Never really had a flow. I don't think they were just. It's like they didn't really talk about it. They just called it in the ring.
Yeah.
It was, but at the same time, it's kind of what I expected. And for once, I can't blame Sami Zayn. And you know, I've always said I'm not a Sami Zayn guy. I was a Sami Zayn guy when he was with the Bloodline. He needs that
Yeah.
supporting cast. I thought for sure fighting with Karrion Kross that would be his supporting cast. So that Karrion Kross could kind of carry him through this thing, but it didn't. And I thought for what it should have been, I thought it could have went a little longer. I'm glad it didn't the way that it turned out. I don't know. I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars.
I get what Cross is trying to do, and I understand the angle that they're going in terms of writing. Like Cross was supposed to try and get Sammy to break down that wall,
Yeah.
cross that fourth or fifth wall, like, bring out that angry, bring out the angry Sami Zayn, bring out the dirty Sami Zayn. And I get he's trying to push him and make him do that stuff like that. And I remember I texted you like at the end of that match. I was just like, this seemed it had a weird feel about it. Like it almost seemed like someone wanted to go home early.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It like I said, I felt like it could have went longer, but I'm glad it didn't. I don't know what's going on, but Sammy got the win. It is what it is. But what about the match itself? Did it have in your eyes, did it have a flow? Did it make sense for considering that kind of like the rivalry they've had, like the storyline that they've got? Did the match make sense to you at WrestleMania?
I don't.
Like I said, it's weird. It was one of the weirdest matches I've watched in a long time.
Never mind this being a weird match. I find it's one of the weirdest rivalries that we've seen in a long time in WWE because it just kind of came out of nowhere.
I like it because it's good versus evil. You got the typical Sami Zayn, oh, yay, I'll kiss babies like a Cody. I'm going to be world champion, but I'm going to do it the right way. And then you got the fucking bastard that's carrying cross. I'm going to bring it out of you. But they tried this angle before with Bray Wyatt and John Cena.
Yeah.
Where Bray Wyatt tried to bring the evil out of John Cena type thing. And it didn't really work then either.
It didn't. And I mean, like the match itself, I wasn't expecting like an actual wrestling match. It was going to be a brawl of sorts. I was hoping that they're finally going to do something with Cross. Like he was going to do something to Sammy to score the win, if it was to either make Sammy finally break and cause a disqualification, to finally say, I told you so, or if he was going to beat him clean somehow. Like I'm getting tired of them not using Cross the way that they should, because I want to see what he can actually do if he's put in the right situation.
No, well, let's see if we get to see him again too, because I thought around SummerSlam his contract was up. I thought that's what I heard. SummerSlam has come and gone. Now, I don't remember if he was exclusive to Raw or SmackDown. Now, I didn't watch Raw as it happened. I kind of skipped through it the next day, but I didn't see Karrion Kross on Raw. So we'll see if he's there on SmackDown.
I think both him and Scarlett's contracts were coming up.
Yeah, they would have been up at the same time. They're a package deal. So I don't know. It was around SummerSlam or just after, sometime this summer. I heard his contract was up. So we'll see if we even see him again. The WWE Women's Title, Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. Well, the match was better than I expected. I'll say this. The match was better. A few minutes in, Tiffy hit a swanton bomb on Jade, and she landed heavy. Like I swear to God, I saw all the air leave Jade Cargill. I was like, oh, fuck, that hurt. But she came back pretty quick. The match again had a good pace, and the moves were pretty meaningful and impactful as it went on. It wasn't like they were just in there doing backflips and shit like that. Tiffy went for that prettiest moonsault or whatever the hell she calls it at one point, and took both feet right in the guts and chest when Jade brought them up. And I was like, oh, that had to have really hurt. But she came back again. So maybe that's what you get for squashing me before with that swanton bomb. Maybe that was her receipt. But she came back. She's pretty tough. In the end, again, it wasn't a classic fucking 5-star match. In the end, Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsault and retains the belt. So far at this point, in my opinion, this was the best match of the night. So far, I gave it 2.5 stars. I wanted to give it even 2 3/4, but it just wasn't there. There was something missing, but so far, this was the match of the night, in my opinion.
We had texted at the end of that match, and I think we both agreed that it was the match of the night. Up to that point, um, yeah. I mean, looking at the match overall, there definitely was something missing. I wasn't anticipating Tiffy dropping the belt to Jade. Jade's gonna get her time.
Yeah,
Um,
eventually. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, like I said, going into the match, I didn't see Tiffy dropping the belt. It's not time yet.
No,
It's
it's
not.
not.
It's not her time yet to give that up. Jade will have her moment in the sun. Um, Overall, I mean, I kind of gave it maybe 2.25 stars.
Yep.
Um, Again, one of the better matches of the night, but nothing to really phone home about. Like it wasn't what you would normally expect out of a championship match in my eyes.
No, it wasn't. The next match was Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. This was the new match of the night. You know, I have to say, Jelly Roll, the match started, you could tell he was nervous when he was in there. But as the match went on, he started moving pretty good. He played to the crowd.
Yep.
He sold well. He was put through that fucking table. You know, like he looked like he belonged in there, especially after that table shot. When Logan hit that frog splash.
Dude, that looked brutal.
Of course it was brutal. Fuck, man. He fell from like 12 feet.
If not,
Logan Paul's got to be 220 pounds. Like
if it 12, maybe even 14 feet, man, because he got air on
he
that
got
fucking
air.
splash.
You know, and I give Jelly Roll a lot of credit. He fucking, man, he earned his spot. I would still be in bed if that had been me. But in the end, Logan and Drew get the match again. And you know what? And I didn't expect it to be a wrestling match. It was more of a fight, which was cool. I gave it 3 stars only because of the way Jelly Roll worked his ass off and made it look so good. Sold well, played to the crowd well. Yeah, like I said, new match of the night, 100%.
That match, I honestly, man, I didn't have many expectations going into this one. I'm like, it's going to be a gimmick thing. Randy's going to carry it. Drew's going to carry it. Logan's going to carry it. Now, we've talked about Logan pretty much on almost every single show that we've done, and we've both said that he is taken to this sport like a fish to water.
Absolutely.
There's not many that can actually come into the business and be as, I don't want to say welcome because he's not really welcomed in the business, but like to be a competitor at the level that he's at right now. And even like his first match with The Miz, like his very first match, like he looked like he belonged.
Did you see the signs in the crowd that said Logan is an outsider?
Yeah.
I saw him online. He blames all those signs on Green Shirt Guy.
That's funny. But like looking at how Jelly performed, number one, dude dropped a ton of weight.
Oh, fuck, did he ever? We went to see him 6 months ago here in Edmonton. And yeah, he looks like he's dropped at least 100 pounds. At least.
Well, they said on the broadcast that he's down 230 pounds.
Altogether, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And for him to move in the ring, he's been going to the performance center. He's been putting in the work. To look at the moves, I love the power slam that he had in that match.
Yeah.
The side slam too, like that was good. I wasn't expecting much in terms of like any high risk moves, but like the way that he handled himself in the ring for his first match, I thought he was great.
Yep.
He did great. You could see the look on Randy's face too, like when Jelly would when he would complete a move, like Randy was even getting stoked on the apron.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was a good match. I kind of they kind of loaded up night one with, I found too many tag team matches, but this was probably the best one.
Well, this was an attraction match. I don't even count it a tag team. It was just an attraction.
Yeah,
That was
I
a
mean,
little extra ploy to sell a few more tickets.
I think so. No, I mean it turned out being a better match than what I thought it was going to be, like going into the event. But yeah, I got it. You gave it 3 stars. I'd give it 2 3/4, if not 3.
All right, the main event for night one, the World Heavyweight title, Gunther and CM Punk. Now, I was looking so forward to this match. Now, I loved mat wrestling. I loved wrestling like back in the 80s with Flair and Steamboat. You know, like
Oh, classics.
guys that could mat wrestle,
Yeah,
or Bret Hart and Ric Flair, or Bret Hart and Ted
per-
DiBiase, or Bret
perfect.
Perfect. You know, I love mat wrestling.
Yeah.
This was a little too slow for me. And there was a lot. It was a slow pace, but I love mat wrestling. And oh, dude, look, I cringed at one point because it was probably, I don't know, 10 minutes of CM Punk just keeping getting chopped and chopped
Oh,
and chopped. You could see it in his face where he was like, holy fuck, will you please stop it? You know,
oh man.
like when the last time I saw someone's chest cut open because of chops was when Flair did it to Sting. And you could just see like his chest would just look like raw fucking hamburger.
I was just gonna say ground beef, man.
Uh,
Ground beef.
Again, lots of mat wrestling. Eventually it picked up. Uh, but Punk took a shit kicking the entire match. But
He
when
did.
when looking at it, it's good storytelling. It's good storytelling for what's about to come. Uh, so the comeback for Punk starts when Gunther stands up on the Spanish announce table and Punk sweeps his feet. He goes down, gets busted open, and Punk takes over. After a few more go to sleeps, Punk gets him in the ring after he busts him open. Few go to sleeps. Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship. There's tears of joy. Donald, I'll let you take it from there.
There's tears of joy. Punk has finally won a title. The first one that he's won in 10 plus years. And he's on the mat, he's got the belt in his hands, and he's sitting there for about 5 minutes. Wait, was it 5 minutes and 10 seconds? Was that shorter than Drew? And then all we hear is burn it down. And I'm just going through my text messages because we were texting during that. And I was just like, shit, it's not going to happen. Burn it down hits. Seth comes out on the crutches. And I'm like, well, God damn it. I guess he really is hurt. And maybe he was just sending a message. Heyman's got the case. And I'm like, maybe as a reminder, just keep in mind, Punk, I have this. And he starts walking back to the dressing room. He stops just before the curtain or just before the entrance, and the crutches come down. And I sent you a text. I'm like, wait a minute, it's happening.
As soon as he dropped those crutches, I knew it was over. And I called this a week before, maybe 2 weeks before WrestleMania. We were talking.
You did. And the jacket comes off. He grabs the briefcase. Seth is basically running to the ring. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to happen. It's finally going to happen. And he beats the tar out of Punk with the briefcase. And I remember I was just like, come on, make it happen. Daddy needs new plates. Anyone who's new to the show, I'm a big Seth guy. Seth has been my guy for a long time.
And you haven't been able to find those side plates since the last time he was World Heavyweight Champion.
Not
if you
yet.
can, you pay an arm and a leg for them on eBay.
Oh, yeah. I keep refreshing the Canada shop site every day. And Seth goes on to cash in. He ends up taking home the World Heavyweight title. That was my moment of the night.
Yeah.
That capped off night one for me.
That was like you were in the main event of WrestleMania.
That couldn't have made my night any better. overall, the match itself between Gunther and Punk, like you said, there were some slow moments in it, some good mat wrestling. Punk's chest looked like chewed up hamburger by, halfway through the match.
Yeah.
Um,
I gave it 3, and just because of the way everything was set up with the storytelling.
yeah.
Whoever the agent was for that match did a bang out job. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I'm pretty sure I thought I gave it maybe 3.5. I scored it a little bit low just because I found, like you said, the slow moments were a little too
See,
slow.
I was going to go that way too, but the ending did it for me. When he dropped those crutches, I was like, okay. Like, I took everything in with the storytelling. Yeah, I got to give it 3 3/4.
Here's a question for you. How long? So Seth has always said, since Punk has come back to WWE, as long as he has breath in his lungs, Punk will never see success in WWE. How long do they keep running with this? Between the Seth and Punk, like, did they keep running with this forever?
This is going to be another
year, 2 years.
Fuck. Honestly, you know what? I can see this going at least 6 months to a year. At least. And it has to culminate with Punk winning the World Heavyweight Championship. It has to. Unless Roman weasels his way in there somehow.
There's always that possibility.
But I think that's how this ends, where Punk writes his story.
Right.
And wins the World Heavyweight Championship and beats Seth Rollins. But again, then you've got returns again. So yeah, it could go for a year. They've got enough material if they keep it with if they keep Roman out of the World Heavyweight title picture. They've got enough going here. They've got enough material for 6 months to a year. Absolutely.
Right.
For sure 6 months to a year.
Right.
But yeah, that was the end of night 1. Overall, I thought night 1 was shit. Now we're going to get into this now. So night 2, the triple threat for the women's world title. So it's Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Naomi. The first 2 minutes, Naomi actually looked really good for the first 2 minutes. For first few minutes, she was in charge. Rhea and Io had a really good few minutes alone until Naomi came in. I'm gonna get to this in a minute. There was a ton of back and forth action. I'm just going through my notes here. Rhea had hit a huge riptide. Then Naomi came in, rolled her up from behind, and retained. That's basically it. Now, and the reason I cut this short is because this match would have been so much better. Now, I've talked about Naomi and this character change of hers, and she needed a repackage. The glow had to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This match would have been 1,000 times better without her in it with the world championship. I would have much rather watched Io Sky and Rhea Ripley go at it, especially if they were going to keep the belt on Naomi. I understand why they did it. I understand that. But I honestly think with her in it, with Naomi in it, I think it hurt the match, to be honest with you. And that's not a rip on Naomi, because I think she's doing a pretty good job as a heel. She's coming along. She hasn't been a heel before on this level anyway. But I mean, the match wasn't horrible. It was pretty good. It was a good way to start night 2. I gave it 2 3/4 stars. There was some high flying. There was some hard impact moves. And like I said, a good start to the show. So I didn't hate it. I just think if they had, I understand why they had to make the match. I just think Rhea Ripley, Io Sky again would have been better without Naomi in it for the world championship.
I have to agree. Like you said, like Naomi kind of owned the first little bit of the match. She ends up getting knocked out of the ring, and then Io and Rhea take over. My thoughts on this match: this should have been a number 1 contenders match.
100%. Or
It should have
almost like
been.
run a gauntlet type thing. Have the number one contenders match right there, right at
Yep.
WrestleMania. Whoever wins that fights Naomi right away.
Yeah.
I think
That
I think it would have been a better match overall.
or like later on in the night. Maybe they just, due to time constraints, maybe they couldn't do it. Um, Personally, I'm not a fan of triple threats.
No, I'm not either. Never
Looking at
have
the
been.
match in general, like you said, it was an entertaining match. I thought Io and Rhea made the match.
Yeah,
That
100% they did.
that they had, I mean, like you said, there was high flying, there were some power moves. Um, there was back and forth, and then at the end of it, like you said, Naomi comes in, she does the roll up, she gets a win. Um, like I said, this could have been a number one contenders match. I want to see Io and Ripley again.
Yes. And
I
it's
want.
we're going to see it again. 100% we're going to see it again.
I can't wait to see that match again, but I want to see it one on one. I don't want to see Naomi. I don't want to see Charlotte or anyone else involved in the match. It has to be a one on one
Agreed.
because their segment in that match, like I said, that made the match. That was the match.
Now this fucking match. Tables, ladders, and chairs for the WWE Tag Team titles. The Street Profits. Do it yourself.
Jesus.
The tag team. Do it yourself. Motor City Machine Guns and Fraxium versus and Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Wyatt Six. You know what? I tried to make notes on this match. I really did, and I said I'm not looking away because I'm going to miss something.
Yeah.
This, I haven't seen a tables, ladders, and chairs match like this since the Hardys and the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian years ago at WrestleMania.
Jesus. Was that the first TLC between those three teams at Mania?
Maybe at WrestleMania, yeah. But
Okay.
This, now I'm not saying this was better because it wasn't. But
you can't beat the original.
goddamn, this was a good match. This was a lot of cool spots, like Ciampa hanging from the top. Actually, after expelling all that energy, taking that beating, and then pulls himself up. So
Upside down.
Yeah, hanging there. Like there was a lot of friggin' high impact. Okay, so like I said, I didn't make notes. The Wyatt Six win it. These guys, every one of them, every tag team worked their asses off. I gave it 3.25 stars. The only reason that I didn't go a little bit higher was there were a few spots that I thought were kind of corny that they didn't need. But I mean, you've got six tag teams in there. So something's, not going to gel. But all of these, I love the match. Everyone worked their ass off. I gave it 3.25 stars. I could even go 3.5 because they worked their asses off, but that was a pretty brutal match.
They put in the work, man. And for me, 6 teams in that was a little too much. Like when it started, it looked like it was a battle royal. The oh shit moment for me during that match was when Candice LeRae went through the ladder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, Johnny's going to be sleeping on the couch today.
I wondered about that too, because I mean, I don't know how that would work because they showed her trying to climb the ladder.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can't remember the girl's name with Street Profits. She tried to climb the ladder. They're not in the match. They can't go up and take the tag belts like that. And that's one of the wasted moments that I talked about, right? Like I understand that Candice had to go outside, go through the ladder, all that stuff. But it was just one of those moments where it's like, it honestly shouldn't have been in the match.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been.
No, I agree. And the other guy from the Wyatts, oh Lord, Big Red. Like he comes into the ring and
Eric Rowan?
Yeah, Rowan comes into the ring and he's kicking ass and taking names, and then you got Uncle Howdy. He starts climbing the ladder. I'm
Yeah, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I get that there's no disqualifications, but like you're not in the sanctioned match. Like I don't it didn't jive for me. But all in all, I mean, everyone in the ring put their bodies on the line, and I would be surprised if going back to the dressing room after that match, if I'd be surprised if you didn't see at least half of them, if not three-quarters of the people that were in that match didn't have fucking ice bags on them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were all soaking in cold tubs after that.
Absolutely.
The women's intercontinental title match: Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. No DQ.
Oh,
Now, Becky comes out to new music. No one gives a shit. There was a couple high spots in I hate Becky Lynch. I think anyway. There was a couple of high spots in the match, but the first while of this match I thought was, excuse me, first bit of this match I thought was really boring. I'm not a big Becky fan, but like I said, but she's carrying the match. I'll give Becky credit. She carried this match.
100%.
I think Lyra will be good down the road, but she's got a lot to learn yet. She's doing good, but she's only young. She's got a lot to learn, but she'll be good. So at one point, Becky comes out with the zip ties. That was kind of cool. I love the storytelling. You know, there's not much you can do with your hands tied up. Lyra takes basically a shit kicking the entire time. It was cool when Becky had her with those zip ties up on the post, and she just took that kendo stick and started beating her across the midsection. That was a cool spot.
She broke the damn thing, man. I understand that they're set up so that they sound really painful, but that looked fucking painful.
I don't know if you noticed, but there was one point, and it was kind of. I noticed that the zip ties were getting loose.
Yeah,
she grabbed Becky at one point and gave her a belly to belly suplex.
Yeah,
and when she rolled off of her, the zip tie had actually come undone, and she took her hand and put them back in. She should not have done that. And again, this is where you improv, and as you get to become a veteran, you kind of like go with the flow. That's when she should have stood up, looked at her hands, and play to the crowd and say, "Look, I got my two hands back. Now I'm going to kick her ass."
Yeah.
But she took her hands and put it back in the tie. I was like, oh God, girl. Come on.
That looked bad. And Cole tried to cover it up too. Like, you know, like he tried to kind of dress the situation. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, we were watching the match, and like even Tara pointed it out. She's just like, she put her hands back in the zip tie.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and again, that's
what?
you have to be prepared for stuff like that. And she wasn't prepared for that. But stuff like that will come.
You're going to have fluke incidents like that in the match. And you got to, like you said, you got to be able to roll with the fly.
Yeah.
You know, roll with the punches. There were actually I didn't even notice this until I came across a thing on Facebook. I think it might've been where they pointed out all of the botches that were in that match. And I was just like, oh yeah, holy shit. Like, and the zip tie was one of them. Having seen her perform live when we were at Raw last year in Ottawa, she plays to the crowd really well, Lyra. She does have a really good in-ring personality, but like you said, she's got an awful lot to learn when it comes to when the oh shit moments happen.
That's right. Yeah. It's not always going to go as planned, and you got to improv, right? That's what the old timers did, you know?
Absolutely. I had better hopes for this match than what had happened. I didn't think Lyra was going to win. I thought Becky was going to retain from the very beginning.
Yeah, I did too.
Didn't expect Bailey to come out. I wasn't anticipating that, but
it had crossed my mind, but I honestly didn't think. I didn't think she was going to be a factor, to be honest with you. I figured she'd get in Becky's face, get knocked on her ass or something, but that would be about it. And then, but I completely forgot that the whole thing to this match was if Lyra lost, she doesn't get a shot at the Intercontinental title as long as Becky is champion.
That's right.
So she's done with that. I didn't think that far ahead when I was making my notes, but yeah, I didn't. I mean, Becky, God, Bailey definitely added to the draw. And again, this was good storytelling, like the hanging, like from the post to getting beat with the kendo stick to even Bailey coming out. I figured Bailey would be involved somehow. But like whenever I'm just going through my notes here, I forgot where we were. Oh yeah. Well, in the long run, she had hit my God, I'm tongue tied now. Lyra hit that exposed turnbuckle pad. That was another weird spot I found that, you're zip tied. Okay.
Yep.
So you go over and you start on doing a turnbuckle pad. That's not going to cut the plastic. There was a million other ways that turnbuckle pad could have come off.
Right.
But eventually she hits that. She gets a shit kicking again after that. She took a big shit kicking this match. And I give her credit for that. Like she sold well. She did okay.
She can take a bump, man.
Yeah, she could take a bump. I'll never say anything bad about her like that. It's just more playing to the crowd and improving. Like I said, when we were talking about we'll call them the cuffs coming off. There's a crowbar. Becky wants to use it on, and Bailey came out, stops her, beats the crap out of her. Bailey and Valkyrie put Becky through the table. Then they get back into the ring. Bailey goes to hit Becky with a chain, hits Lyra. Becky gets the win. And then Lyra's pissed off at Becky. I gave the match 3 stars. I'd even give it a little bit more.
That's fair.
They worked their asses off. And again, like I said, not the biggest Becky Lynch fan, but she carried the match. She helped Lyra through it a little bit, but Lyra again, and it's not a knock on her because she's still young. I think she's in her early 20s, mid 20s. She's got a bit to learn, but she's coming along. Wasn't horrible. I thought it was good. Overall, I thought the match was good. I thought the storytelling was pretty good. And now it's going to probably set up a battle between Bailey and Lyra for the next couple of months. Or at least until Becky loses the title, which I can see it being Bailey to beat her for the Intercontinental title, and then Bailey and Lyra start going at it.
I can see that.
That's what I think.
I was just going to ask you what direction do you think that they're going to go in with Bailey? But I mean, if she's going to end up taking a little bit of time on the side, until they decide on what story that they're going to go with that, like feed off of Bailey and Lyra for the time being. And then once the dust is all settled on that, like you said, it's probably going to be Bailey going after Becky. I'm getting the two mixed up now. There's too many B's here. I can totally see that happening.
Yep. 100%. The cage match for the United States Championship, Jacob Fatu versus Solo. Man, I was so pumped for this match. But I think it was one of the most boring cage matches I've ever watched in my wrestling's history. A lot of bullshit went on in the ring. Like, these are my notes. Bullshit went on in the ring. MFTs came out. So does Jimmy Uso. Jacob could have walked out at one point, said, "Shut the dough. I'm all gas, no break. I'm going to beat his ass," blah, 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 whatever the fuck. MFTs handcuff him to the top of the cage. Solo goes for the door. Jacob breaks the cuffs. They fight with the door open. Big fucking Tala boy kicks the door, knocks out Fatu. Solo walks out. Retains the U.S. title. The coolest part of this match was when Fatu broke the cuffs when he was at the top of the cage.
I have to agree.
And the moonsault, a moonsault on the MFTs while they were literally waiting for him with their arms up in the air.
Yeah.
They're literally, they have their arms up. I'm like, boys, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? Put your arms down. It was not a good match. Any solo match is pretty much shit. I gave it 1 3/4 stars.
I mean, looking back on it, I didn't give a rating at the time, I don't think. Like I said, we were texting during both nights, and I had better hopes for this match than what actually ended up happening.
Oh, so
And
did
I was so let down at the end. I can't stand Solo. He can't wrestle.
No.
Um,
He's
he
a pretty
can't
good
sit-
talker. He gives a pretty good interview. But that's about as far as it goes.
That's as far as it goes. I mean, he has the Samoan spike, and that's it. Duh. And he jabs you in the throat. That's it.
And he does he does that little laugh, like where his face scrunches up, and you just want to kick him in the fucking head because he looks like such a pompous prick. But
like
but that's all he's got. Like,
yeah, I don't. When he first separated, like when the original bloodline separated,
yeah,
and he formed his new one, I'm like, okay, so he's going in kind of like a mafia
yes,
kind of direction. I'm like, okay, so this might have some potential. Like, I get it, family, familia, like all that kind of stuff. And it's just gotten stupid.
Yeah.
At this point, like he's got another Tonga that's joined the group. He's got some dude that's not even related to them that's from Hawaii. That looks like a gigantic toe.
That fucking guy, you know who he looks like? He looks like Kirk Hammett on steroids, like 30 years ago. He does. Just look at his hair next time you see him and look at his face and think Kirk Hammett.
I can see it. I can see it now. Like Solo's new family, his whatever MFTs, if that's what he's calling it, the motherfucking Tongas. I don't know. I don't know.
My family trees.
My family trees. That line is just, it's stupid. They need to do away with it. Maybe they can revive it, go in a different direction with it. I wasn't impressed with the match.
I understand it because it's like a stable. I get why they do it. And it's not a horrible idea. It's really, really not. But it's just not working. There's no chemistry with it whatsoever. I get it. I understand it. But it's not a blood. I think that's why I was just about to say it's not a bloodline. That's why he's calling the group My Family Tree. Well, Chris Jericho has a fucking learning tree. And he runs around with a great big stupid looking prick and a couple of little idiots too. Like, I
think, was it?
But at least that's entertaining. Hi guys, like.
I can't remember if it was you or if it was maybe an interview that I saw with Bret Hart on YouTube. Like when you come down to a feud between two people, the ultimate way of ending that feud is putting those two people in a cage.
The cage. Yeah, that's what I always said. That's the way it was in the 80s, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's the way wrestling was.
That's like the culmination. Like that's the pinnacle.
Yes.
Of the feud.
That's the end of it.
And I was just like, to me, this is just going to drag on. This is just going to drag on. They're going to drag this out as long as they can, as far as they can. I could care less. Jacob, love Jacob.
I like Jacob.
When he first came in, I was just like, what is this fucking thing?
I thought he was like a 50-year-old ugly man. That's all he was. I didn't know anything about him. I'm like, why is he a werewolf? I understand he's ugly. But
when he broke away from Solo's group, I was just like, okay, I like this Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, 100%.
But like,
I know you don't know.
They need to move on from this whole thing between Jacob and Solo. I don't know what they need to do with Solo to actually try to make him relevant. I found he hasn't been relevant ever since he came in. What was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
He hasn't been relevant since he was and they're still calling him the street prize fighter. No, he's not. He's fuck all.
Fuck's sake.
He hasn't been relevant since he was the enforcer for the bloodline.
And you know what? Using that title on him is an insult to Arn Anderson.
Goddamn right it is. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more oxygen on that match. It was terrible. The Intercontinental Championship, AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. AJ comes out in a lowrider and dressed in Eddie gear. It was fucking awesome. And you know what's funny? Did you hear Dom during the press conference? He didn't even know that he came out in a lowrider. I'm pretty sure I heard that. He was like, oh, he came out in a lowrider? Unless he was just playing stupid. I don't know.
Probably.
But Dom's playing to the crowd. And I like it. I've been praising Dominic Mysterio for about a year now.
You have
and
been.
He's doing well. He's just got that punchable fucking face and the way he talks. And he's turning more and more into Eddie every day. I love it. The match had a good pace really early, kind of back and forth. It was cool to see AJ at that one point where I can't remember what it was now. I had a few pops that night. But he did something with a chair and he went down like Eddie would or something. And the referee looked over at Dom and Dom was like, and AJ's like, no, you did it. You did it. You hit me or something. But it was cool to see AJ do that. I'd love to see Dominic start doing that more, but I don't think it would work well because I mean, that was Eddie how many years ago and the referees would be like, oh, fuck off. You know, that you have to have a face do it to Dom. It's more impactful.
Yeah.
Dom's boot comes off during the calf crusher, hits AJ with it. It's a frog splash, retains the title. And I didn't see it during the match. They showed it during the replay that before the calf crusher, he had actually unzipped his boot.
Yep.
I didn't see it during the match, which was, you know, that's an Eddie move. It wasn't a bad match. I thought it was really good, but it seemed a little short to me.
It did.
I thought it could have gone longer because when Dominic wants to, he can fly a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought it was, you know, a little short, but it was a good match. I liked it. It was entertaining. It was an entertaining match. I gave it 2 3/4 stars. And the only reason I went, yeah, I thought 2 3/4 was fair for what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I was a little surprised to see AJ coming out dressed up as Eddie. I was just like, he's totally fucking with him now. Like he's playing a mind game here. Yeah. Looking at it from one side perspective to the other, I thought we got what you expected out of AJ. Dom has to be the greasiest motherfucker in the sport right now. And I mean, I've said this about Logan Paul before too. Like, he's greasy. You want to see him get his face punched in, but at the same time, and we've talked about this before, you're tuning in every single week to see it happen.
That's right.
So
if you're tuning in purposely to see that guy, or you're paying money to see that guy get his ass kicked, you're doing your job.
Yeah, 100%. I find they're trying to work a little bit too much Eddie into Dom's character.
I don't think so. How do you think they're putting too much in it?
Well, I mean, the whole chair thing. Dom smacks it on the mat, tosses it to AJ. No, AJ puts it around.
AJ did it.
I thought it was the other way around. Never mind. Anyway, Dom has done that before, but it's just like some of the Eddie isms, like the Three Amigos. I get it's an homage to him and stuff like that, but it's just like, if you're gonna be a heel, be your own greasy heel.
I understand why he does the Three Amigos, because it is an homage to Eddie Guerrero. But when Dominic does it, the fans consider it an insult. And he's a heel. You need heat. You need to be hated. I think there was one point They haven't done it in a while, I don't think, but he also hasn't been out on a live mic as much. Every time he goes to talk, you can't fucking hear yourself think because the fans are booing him. And again, that's a good sign of a good heel. But aside from the three amigos, and if he did do the chair thing every now and then, fuck, I'd love to see them put more Eddie in him. I'd love to see it. But I'll tell you one thing that Dominic's got to do, and it's just more flattering for himself. He's got to let go of those chicken fingers, and he's got to start eating more pure protein. He's got to do something with his physique. He's got these long, lanky arms, and just there is nothing impressive about him except that mullet. He's got a fucking mullet that guys up here in Alberta in the oil patch would kill for.
See, I think his image, the way that he portrays himself, like his physical image, and then trying to act the tough guy, like,
oh, he could never be a tough guy. That would never happen. But I'm just saying he needs something. He's got to fill out.
I think it like that plays into his character. Like when I see him and I see the scrawny arms holding up the Intercontinental belt, or when he's like slapping his chest or whatever, I'm just like you are the size of a chicken finger. You're the size of a chicken tender.
Like, imagine if Gunther ever, and why do you think he wears that full body thing? Because he's got a sunken chest. Just imagine if Gunther ever ripped that thing open and gave him a chop. He'd kill him. He'd fucking kill him.
If Gunther ever ripped open that vest that Dom wears to the ring and gave him one chop, and you know that vest that he wears is padded.
Oh, fuck, it's gotta be.
If he ever ripped that open and gave him one chop, every rib in his body would shatter. It would break.
And the main event for the WWE Undisputed Championship. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I didn't know, well, I thought I knew what to expect, that Cody was going to sell his fucking soul and win the championship and be an evil son of a bitch. But a sign of respect, hug from both of them, and they go at it. The whole match, it had a good pace. I will say this. I think this was John Cena's greatest match that I remember him seeing in the last 10, 15 years.
Really?
I thought this was John Cena's best showing. They both had a killer instinct. They're both going into this match. They're both faces. Yep. But they had that killer instinct, which was good to see. You normally don't see that. There's always, oh, the poor guy, blah, blah, blah. It was just nice to see a killer instinct. Eventually, weapons start coming into the match because it was a street fight. There's, like I said, for two faces, there's no remorse on what they were doing. I was really impressed at this point with the match because I was like, holy shit, it's not what I expected. But I also forgot it was a street fight at the same time until the weapons came in. Good on him for trying, and I'll give him credit for this. But Cody goes for a pile driver. It's probably one of the worst pile drivers I think I've ever seen in wrestling. He basically jumped up in the air and almost landed on his own back. I understand he's trying to protect John, but if you can't deliver a move with confidence, don't do it. It just takes away from the match, I thought. But there's a couple of shots and a couple of punches, quite a few actually. I think I counted 5 that were just flat out misses. Like they swung and they were nowhere near making contact, but yet the other person sold. I was like, guys, come on, settle it fucking down. Like, just don't do that. So aside from that, the match goes on. Cena pulls out the sunset powerbomb, one of the 5 moves of doom. And I was like, God damn, he hasn't done that in a while. He usually stuck with the four more moves of doom, but I guess like I said, his career is coming to an end, so he's pulling out of the stops. They keep going back and forth. Couple of AAs. Cody kicks out. Crossroads. John kicks out. They keep going at it. There's a lot of too many false finishes. And what I mean by, especially with finishing moves. Now, finishing moves back in the day, once in a while to do this is fine. But it seems like WWE is doing this a lot more. Someone gets hit with a finish and the guy kicks out at 2. It's not even a surprise anymore. Especially if you do it like 10, 15 minutes into a match. No, everybody know, like, especially for a match of this magnitude, nobody thinks you're going to win. So don't do it. I don't know. It just takes away from the match. Eventually, Cody gets the belt, hits his crossroads on Cena. He wins. The match was good. This was another match. I took some notes, but I didn't want to keep my eyes off the TV a whole lot. There was one thing I noticed that I did make a note on. I can't find where it went, but basically Cody did something. And he hurt. He got hurt. I don't know if it was his elbow, his arm. I don't know what it was. But he tried to play it out like he was trying to sell an injury. John Cena just went over and grabbed him and they kept going. And then all of a sudden the injury was gone. I don't remember what it was or what he hurt, but I remember laughing at that. So Cody congratulates John, like for the match. Thank you very much. Leaves, blah, 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 blah. John saying goodbye to the fans. Lesnar's back. And man, he looks fantastic. He is a lean 270 pounds, easy 270, but he's in shape. Walks the ring, stares at Cena. Cena stares at him. Gets in the ring. John goes right at him, takes an F5. And that is the end of WrestleMania. There was one thing I liked. You can read lips. Cody is thanking John for the match. And John looked at me and said, I gave you everything I had. And Cena did. Like I said, I think this is the best match Cena's had in the last 10 years. For sure, in the last 10 years. I gave the match itself 3.5 stars just because on how hard John Cena worked. I haven't seen him work this hard in a very long time, and it was good to see. I don't know how they're going to work Brock Lesnar back into this. It's easy to say, well, this is John Cena's next match, and until the next pay-per-view or whatever it's going to be, Brock Lesnar is going to make John Cena's life a living hell and come out and give him F5s. And with Brock just coming back, I don't know, like, do you throw them right in a cage? Like, this is John Cena's farewell tour. Do you throw them right in? He just had a no-holds-barred match, lost the WWE title. Now he's got a beast. He's got a fucking huge man coming at him that's been known the last 25 years to just destroy guys.
Yep.
What do you do? Do you throw him in a cage right away? You can't have another no-holds-barred match or a last man standing match because he basically just did that. So how do you work him and Cena back in together right away?
Starting off, let me say, I thought this was bullshit. And I sent you a text message the minute that he came out on the stage.
Yep.
I was like, this is absolute bullshit. I think Lesnar is overrated. I think his time is past. I don't think he's relevant anymore. and now they're going to throw him in there on the John Cena retirement tour. How do you crowbar or shoehorn this into a storyline? I have no sweet fucking clue.
Yeah.
Um,
And don't get me wrong. See, I'm the complete opposite when it comes to Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar. I love him. But
yeah,
it's taken this match. Like, what the fuck do you do now? Cena's done in December. And I'm sure
yeah.
there's still a few more people. You're not going to have him feud with Brock Lesnar until the end of his contract in December. So how the fuck do you make this work? You know, like,
So you're looking at a 4-month feud. If you're gonna if they're gonna ride Cena and Lesnar up until the end, the way that you finish this is it's not a standard cage match. It's not Survivor Series. The only way that this comes to a head, in my eyes, is Hell in a Cell.
yeah, because I mean, like I said, I don't see, I would still love to see John Cena face Randy Orton. I don't think that's going to happen because they're not going to
Dude.
they're not going to put him with a face. And honestly, Randy Orton would run circles around John Cena.
What was your take on SmackDown? Like when Cena and Cody opened up and John was just like, you opened my eyes and
I thought it was very well done because I knew,
did you think it was a work? Did you think it was a work that he was going to turn on Cody again?
I didn't expect it. I did
Nope.
not expect it at all. I thought it was, I thought it was great, but I also knew John Cena was not going to retire a heel. He was absolutely not going to, but
Absolutely not.
I didn't think the heel turn would happen until after, or sorry, the babyface turn. I didn't think it would happen until after SummerSlam. I didn't think it would happen before.
Right.
So that was kind of cool to see. There's nothing wrong with throwing a monkey wrench in there. The worst thing you can have in professional wrestling is predictability. And for the longest time, you knew what was going to happen. But now it takes a little bit of reading between the lines. I think the last few months, we've pretty much we've been lucky enough to read between the lines and see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because we've called a few fucking things before they happened and said exactly how it's going to go. Probably at the very least since WrestleMania. Right. So, but yeah, I thought it was cool. It was very well done. And it was good to see. Instead of him walking back with the championship backwards, he turned around and he showed the title to the fans. Okay, the old John Cena is back. It was kind of cool to see. It was like Hogan coming back in the red and yellow, even though he's only been a heel for about 4 months.
Right.
But I keep going back to Brock. I don't know. This can't be his last feud. It can't be.
No.
And maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be his final match. Unless, I don't know, Brock comes out and says, look, I just want to kick your ass one time. I'll walk away. That's it. You'll never see me again.
Right.
I don't know.
Now, going back to last year's WrestleMania, when Cody finally beat Roman.
Yep.
And Rock basically said this isn't going to be our first dance. We're going to have a thing coming up again, and between him and Cody. I find when a storyline is finally reaching its pinnacle, Rock comes in and sticks his dick into it.
Oh, he fucked that. He fucked that whole thing. That didn't make sense, and we've talked about it before. That didn't make sense. That was the stupidest fucking ending to anything in the history of wrestling.
He has a habit of doing this. And so after Friday night happened, going into SummerSlam, I'm like, does Rock show up again and yet again stick his dick into the situation?
No, I didn't.
Everything up again.
I didn't think he'd show up. Same as I knew Travis Scott was. Well, they're done with him anyway.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. They're absolutely done with him. Do you think maybe Cena and Brock is going to be maybe a 2-month thing, and then going into Cena's final 2 months, Rock comes back and he's like, you were supposed to be my guy. You were my champion. And like, does the Rock come back in and it's Rock and Cena one last time?
I would like to see that just because, well, they main evented WrestleMania 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And for a solid year, well, for a long time, they legitimately did not fucking like one another.
Cena calling out Rock for the promo on his
they legitimately they got along professionally. But for a long time there was some real heat there between them. So I hope that's who I would like to see. And again, we keep talking about this. I don't read dirt sheets. I don't like surprises ruined for myself. I enjoy wrestling too much for that. But I would love to see, and again, just because of the history, and forget about WrestleMania, Cena and Rock back in the Attitude Era, or not the Attitude Era, like
ruthless
aggression area, the battles they had back then.
Yeah.
I would love to see Rock as Cena's final opponent just because of the history. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar be his, and as much as I love Brock Lesnar, I don't want to see Lesnar for the last 4 months of Cena's career.
Yeah.
It's just going to be beat downs and attitude adjustments until you see it at a pay-per-view. So
I don't know what they're going to do, man. I like to see Brock come back and, okay, so this is the direction that we're going to go in now. What's the story going to be? To me, I get that you're a Brock fan, but to see him come back at SummerSlam and then go after Cena, I was just like, what relevance is this?
And that's the thing. But at the same time, who else are they going to put him in with to go after? It would have made more sense to go after, like, come back on SmackDown and go after Cody.
Yeah. Yep.
Go back after the world championship. But I mean, it's John Cena is the entire focal point right now of WWE. And if you're going to take such a big star, Brock Lesnar, and bring him back with John Cena as your figurehead right now and everything revolves around him, you've got to go with John Cena, the focal point. And that's it, guys. This is our show. This is our rundown of SummerSlam. We hope you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, my name is Doug. I am out.